Okay, so question 2 starts with solve 2x squared is equal to 5x plus 3. And we should know by looking at that question that it looks similar to a quadratic. We have that x squared term, we have the x term, we have the number term. Okay, the only thing that's different, I suppose, is that it's spread across the equal sign. So our first step is going to be just to, I suppose, rearrange. So instead of 2x squared is equal to 5x plus 3, we're just going to rearrange it so that we have 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. Once we've gotten to this point, we're going to be looking for two numbers that will multiply to give me 6, but that are going to, I suppose, add to give me that minus 5 in the middle. So they're going to multiply to give me that minus 6, and then they're going to add to give me minus 5. So what that would mean is I'm going to have 2x squared, we can say minus 1x, sorry, plus 1x, minus 6x minus 3, 0. We can take those extra steps and maybe factor out an x here, and we get 2x plus 1. If we take a minus 3 here, we get 2x plus 1. Okay, those two terms now in the middle are the same, which is exactly what we want. If they aren't the same, then then something's wrong and we can't continue on. So now we can write our next line, x minus 3, 2x plus 1 equal to 0. Ideally, I suppose at this stage we should be able to get to that point fairly quickly and maybe just jump straight to that point. But if not, maybe take some time going over your quadratics just to make sure you are happy with them. But once we got to that point, we set each of these equal to 0, so 2x plus 1 is equal to 0, x minus 3 is equal to 0, and that means that x is equal to 3, or x is equal to minus a half. And those are our two answers. So with that one there, I suppose it's making sure that you're comfortable with your quadratics, that you know how to do them fairly quickly, that you're able to identify that that is a quadratic, so maybe not going straight to maybe trying to do something with the x squared or do something with the x's or something like that. Take that time maybe just to rearrange it, just to have a think what does it look like. So looking at the x squared, looking at the x, looking at the number, only for that equal sign we can see that that would be a quadratic. So it's just taking that minute, I suppose, to rearrange it. The other clue comes from the second part, where we have this word hence. In an exam situation, hence is usually a suggestion that the last part is going to help you in some way to solve this part. So looking at this next part, we have 2, and then in brackets 1 over t minus 4 all squared, and minus 5, again that 1 over t minus 4, and then minus 3 is equal to 0. Our first step with these questions is going to be let x equal to 1 over t minus 4. By doing that, we are able to rewrite this equation as 2x squared minus 5x minus 3 is equal to 0. And what we can see is that that is now the same quadratic that we had in the first part of the question, the 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. So from our previous part, we already know that x is equal to 3 and x is equal to minus a half. Okay, so we can take those answers now and we can say, right, well, if x is equal to 3, then 1 over t minus 4 is equal to 3, or 1 over t minus 4 is equal to minus half. Let's start with the 3 first, because that's maybe a little bit easier to work with. So we're going to start by multiplying both sides by t minus 4. And on the left hand side that leaves me with 1, on the right hand side I get 3 multiplied by t minus 4. I'm just going to tidy that up a little bit, so 3t minus 12. Okay, if we continue on, then I'm just going to flip over my equal sign there. 3t is equal to 13, t is equal to 13 over 3. That's going to be my first answer here. For the next part, okay, we're going to have to take maybe a little bit of extra time with this one, but that's okay. So let's maybe start by multiplying both sides again by that t minus 4, the same as we did the last time. On the left hand side that's going to leave me with 1, on the right hand side I have minus a half by t minus 4. Okay, what we're going to do maybe now is multiply both sides by 2, so I get 2 on this side, I get minus 1 by t minus 4. If I tidy that up a little bit, I get minus t plus 4. I'm just going to rearrange. I'm going to take the t to this side. I get t is equal to 2. And those are my two answers then. So t is equal to 2 and t is equal to 13 over 3. Okay, the key thing with that question is that idea of the hence. Now it does say hence or otherwise, so you could proceed to solve it any way you like. Some people were trying to multiply out to brackets and multiply out that 1 over t minus 4, and that's fine. It just gets a little complicated. Okay, it just gets a little long-winded. So if you can, it's obviously going to be less time consuming to spot that substitution, the let x equals to t minus 4. And that kind of came as well from recognizing that the quadratic was the same as the one you had in the first part. So it's putting these things together, I suppose, really making those connections can be the hard part, but then can save you work in the long run.